it looks like James Hetfield up front, but in the back it
Dude,
looks.
don't come on now. I gave you a glam rock quiz the other night on hair metal.
I don't know
But
who that
dude,
is.
I know you know. I know you know who this is.
I don't. I don't know who that is.
He's no longer with us. If that
It's
makes
Eddie
a
Van
difference.
Halen.
Yeah. It's
It
Eddie
doesn't
Van
look
Halen.
like him in the back though. It doesn't look like his guitars that
That
he's using.
totally looks like Eddie Van Halen.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see his face. All I saw was that guitar. Okay, it was kind of blurry
Yeah, and he does look like James Hetfield.
up front. Yeah,
Like in the modern.
he does. Yeah, that's what kind of threw me off because like James Hetfield. But then when you showed me his second picture up close, I can see his guitar, but his guitar
When have
didn't
you
look
ever
like.
known Hetfield to play anything that's not like an Explorer
I know.
body?
Well, that's what threw me off, and it looked like the back picture looked like an Explorer from the way you were showing it to me. It looked like an
Yeah.
Explorer. So I was like, I almost
Aren't you
failed.
going to see Joe Satriani?
Yeah, dude, like Monday night.
I commented on your Facebook because you didn't say his name. You just posted his picture. I was like, who the heck is this?
Mm-hmm.
So all your friends are going to be like commenting to me like, that's Joe Satriani in case you didn't
Yeah,
know.
my wife was already like, she was already like, he doesn't know who Joe Satriani is. He's probably the only one that knows who Joe Satriani is.
What'd you say to her? He's probably the only one that knows.
That's what
You
she
you
said.
knew I
She
was
said, I knew
joking,
you
huh?
were joking, but she said he's funny because he's probably the only.
Right.
He's,
Oh, she knew I was joking, right?
yeah, I thought she was wondering why, but yeah, I think she knew you were joking. Then she
Yeah.
was like,
I'm
then
probably
she,
the only one of your friends that knows who that Paul guy is.
right.
Yeah.
Mm,
Nothing against bald guys.
well, she was thinking his glasses look kind of funny.
I think he plays kind of funny.
You think it's gonna be a good experience?
Probably not. You ever seen him live?
No, that's why I'm wondering if
I
it's.
haven't ever seen him live, but I've seen videos of him live. I saw him with G3 on a video on YouTube where he's
Mm-hmm.
playing alongside of Steve Vai and John Petrucci, and I felt like he could not keep up.
Really?
That was my opinion, yeah. Like Vi and Petrucci, I mean, they stayed right alongside each other. But those are two really like monster guitarists. And then Sash was just like resorting to the whammy bar, like
Who was Satch?
doing a bunch of dive bombs, like trying to keep up with him. Like, I
He
can't
was
play
not,
that.
dude.
Wow. Uh,
I don't know if I believe that.
dude, you got to find it, man. He just could not keep up with those
Are you
two.
serious?
Well, dude, how would you feel if you were on stage with John Petrucci and Steve Vai? Would you be able to keep up? What would
Mm,
you do?
Um.
And
Yeah. I
you're Joe Satriani. If you're Joe Satriani, and I mean, let's be real, Joe Satriani plays really cool stuff. He's a good guitar player, but he's not exceptional. I don't feel like he's. I don't feel like his technique is like, uh, you know, Vi has far surpassed him.
Dude, I don't even know what you're trying to talk about. You're trying to say Joe Satriani is not a good guitar player?
Literally just said he is a good guitar player,
Oh, okay.
but I don't. But I feel like it's more like the music that he writes is just really cool. I don't think
Well, I will agree
his
with you on
guitar
that.
technique. I don't think his technique is anything like. I mean, he's a good. He can keep up as an instrumental solo guitarist, but if you compare him to some of the others out there, I mean, he's not an Ingve, he's not a Vi. Um, if you're just talking guitar licks, I don't know that he's or speed. I don't think he can keep up with some of the guys out there. But as far as music, I mean, some of the music that he writes is far better than almost any guitarist or any instrumentalist.
Yeah, I think he's I mean, I don't disagree with what you just said. I think he's probably mostly
I mean, he's an
a good
average
writer.
shred guy, is what I'm saying. I think he's an average shred guitar guy. That's what I think. I don't think he's an exceptional shred guitar guy, but I think musically, the melodies he writes, the songs that he writes are just phenomenal. That's what I think.
You think it's all about the writing?
I think he plays with a lot of feeling, and he just really can hit you here, But I don't think if you just sat him down next to some guitarist and said, "Okay, just shred, have a guitar duel." I mean, I don't know. I think that it would depend on the day, but and who he was up against. But I don't think he would be anything like real exceptional. There's just a lot of guys on Instagram that could play far better than he can. If you're just talking about playing guitar licks. Now, could they write what he writes? Probably not.
Well, I mean, yeah, could they play melodically and perform and like actually?
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. Like if
Well,
I were on stage next to Joe Satriani and he was playing his songs, I'd be sunk. Okay, I would be sunk. Now, if you ask me, okay, Todd, play your fastest next to Joe Satriani. If here lately, I don't know, I don't practice much anymore, but in my prime, if you're just talking speed, I probably was faster than him.
really?
I mean, you've heard me play pretty freaky
I don't, but
fast.
I've never heard Joe Satriani really play fast.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't just outright shred a lot, but he does do some licks that are kind of like hard to do. I mean, they're not just straight, like triplets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you ever played just straight scales, like really fast, that's a little bit easier to do. And he does play some stuff that's a little bit more complicated, but I don't think any of it's really exceptionally hard. But when I was when we were teenagers, the only thing that any guitarist had a goal of learning was the tapping solo part to "Always with Me, Always with You."
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah, I did
Everybody
that one.
wanted to learn that lick, and it was like, you remember that?
Oh yeah, I learned that lick, dude. I learned the whole song. Always with me, always with you. I learned the whole song.
Did you?
Yeah. Like when I was like when I was 30,
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, like I learned the whole song.
Wait, you
That's
learned it when you were 30?
Yeah, like I played the whole song when I was like, you know,
Well,
yeah.
grab a guitar there behind you and let's hear it.
Mm,
Go play it for us real quick.
I'll play it for you like pretty soon, dude.
Let me just go warm up for
Yeah.
like 2 months.
That's the song. Yeah, I could play pretty much all of it. There was a couple licks in there that I couldn't play, that I could slop through that were not, he's got a couple like fast blues licks in there that I just could never really accomplish. Some of those
Yeah.
but like 90% of the song I can play. Maybe 80. I might be giving myself too much credit. Like 80% of it. Like there's a couple licks that I don't think I ever really got them clean.
Let me ask you this. If you put Joe Satriani on stage next to Michael Harris, who's winning that?
Um, Dude, Joe
Talk
Satriani would.
if you're talking all out shred, okay? You're not listening for melodic playing. You're just talking like who can shred. Dude, Harris would waste him.
I don't think
That's
so, dude.
and that's what I'm talking about, dude. I don't think Joe is that kind of guitarist. I don't think that, like, if you just put him in an all out licks competition with a bunch of guitarists, I think he would just kind of fall short. But
Well, if you blindfolded the judges,
yeah, because they're gonna give favoritism to him
because he's
just because.
kind of like an icon. It'd be kind of hard to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
it'd be hard to not be
Pull up a
biased
video
towards
of
him.
Michael Harris, dude. Let's play it for everybody. It's on YouTube. He's got a live
I
version
don't,
of Mind or Heart, and it's actually really really good.
but I don't know if I can play music through the
Through here,
podcast. Hold on. Michael Harris, right? You said Michael Harris. Hold on.
yeah, Mind or Heart live. That's a really good one.
See, Michael Harris just isn't my favorite guitar player. Mind or
Well, he used to be one of your favorites, didn't he?
he was your favorite. I think he's, dude. I don't know. I think he's kind of scratchy sounding.
Huh?
I mean, definitely like Defense Mechanisms. Was that on Defense Mechanisms? Mind or
Yeah,
Heart?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like
Dude, that
Like,
was one of the coolest instrumental albums ever.
well, let me plug in. Let me talk to him a minute. Let me plug in my let me plug in the audio so I can actually play it. I can do
Okay,
that. I just gotta plug
I'm
it
gonna
in.
talk to everybody, even though I don't know if anybody's listening or not. But I'm just gonna talk to you while Eric plugs this up. I'll give you a little backstory. So Michael Harris was my guitar teacher, and that was back in the early '90s, I think, early to mid '90s, around '93, '94, somewhere in there. I took lessons from him, and then he moved to Texas because he wanted to get famous and everything in Texas, and I think he did pretty good. He ended up opening for G3 at one point, but his band Arch Rival was really big in the Japanese market. They actually had a record deal with, I think it was like Black Dragon Records or something like that. Something cliche sounding, anyway. They were, I don't know if they ever toured there or anything. I don't know that they did, but but they were pretty well known there, I guess. It's a very different market there. But he did a lot of shows here. He was a great guitar player. So, um, so I'm just waiting on Eric to get back because I want y'all to hear this song. So, or one of them anyway. Is anybody watching tonight? Uh, we did our trades. We won 6 trades without too much trouble. So we leveled up, and now we're just talking about guitar stuff. So I don't know how interesting that is to everybody, but Eric and I are both guitarists, and that's kind of what brought us close. We were in school together, and in our freshman year of high school, we became friends and would sit and jam together and stuff. Eventually made a studio recording together. I'll have to play that for you sometime. That was that's actually kind of an embarrassment nowadays, but my son likes to listen to it, so sometimes he'll put it on. He told me it would sound cool in the back of Batman, so I think he actually used footage from the movie Batman and put one of our songs over it because he thought it kind of fit. So, but that is how Eric and I came to know each other. We were on the same football team in like the 6th grade, but then ended up, both of us quit football at some point and then just got into guitar, and that's what we do. So I don't know how much longer he's gonna be. Hopefully he's coming. I'm just looking at my phone to see how charged up it is here. So, just reading a Facebook post. So yeah, I also will have to show you guys my Halloween display. I don't know if we've shown that video yet, but that's pretty cool, and you guys might be interested in seeing that at some point. um,
Okay, that was a ginormous audio debacle, but I have it. What were you talking
Dude,
about?
I've just been rambling this whole time.
Okay, all right. So you tell me, can you hear this?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, all right. I think we got it. Let me just make sure the level's right. It's just like doing this stuff is check one, check one. All right, so let's go back. You want to go to the beginning of this?
Yeah, let's watch the whole thing. We got a few.
The whole
minutes.
thing? Okay.
So, what do you think? Give me your opinion.
Dude, dang. Like I take back everything I said like 15 minutes ago when I was like, I don't know. I have a feeling he would whip Satch all over the stage, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he freaking would, dude. I
Because
know
that was like a
guitar.
slower song of his.
That was a slower one, dude,
I mean, he
and
was
I'm
pretty
telling you,
reserved.
and that had a lot of feeling to it. I mean, it really did. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
probably like the most feeling I've ever seen him play. I remember hearing that song off that album. I mean, but dude, watching that again made
Yeah.
me like, yeah, I think all of the crap that I ever thought about Harris in terms of just not being my favorite in terms of
I can tell you this, dude. You could play. You could go on stage and play "Always with Me, Always with You," and you would do okay, and everybody would love it and think, "Oh, Eric, that was great." If I give you the tablature to Mind or Heart, you will embarrass the crap out of yourself. Number one, you wouldn't even be able to because you wouldn't make it past the first few licks. Because, dude, I know that song, dude. I've played that song. I can freaking shred, and I'm telling you, I would embarrass myself
is it
playing
hard
it.
to do?
It's freaking hard.
There are a
Yes.
lot of intricate fast parts in that, even though he's playing a lot of slow
Right.
lead. Like I could
Yeah.
I could play that melody, that first opening melody.
Even that's hard, dude. Even that with that arpeggio.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because he got yeah, he does
yeah.
sweep that arpeggio.
That
Oh, even the
arpeggio.
intro to that lick,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
is like
intro is
arpeggio.
hard, dude. Making it sound like that is hard. Yeah, it's just the whole. I should give you the tab just so you can try it,
So
dude.
why does it?
It's
How does he stand there and make it look so freaking easy? I
easy.
mean, dude,
I
he
don't
just
know because he is a phenomenal guitarist. I mean, he is a phenomenal guitarist.
yeah. I take it back, dude. You're right. Satch is a lightweight compared to him. Like
Yeah,
I think technique wise. I mean, obviously
right.
Satch. Well, I was gonna say like I don't like. I think Satch. You think like I'm totally biased towards Satch, but like
Well,
when you listen to that, dude.
I think that I would put Satriani on about the same level as Gary Hoey. Gary Hoey is awesome to listen to. He's fun to listen to.
Yeah, you're right
He's a
about that.
good guitar player. Got great melody. I mean, just if you're just wanting to listen to good music, okay, then they've got it. Okay, but now if you're talking like guitar technique, like monster shred, they're not it.
Well, I mean, I always thought like Harris didn't have feeling in terms like his some of his stuff, but like that, dude, that was on the level well beyond Always with Me, Always with You. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it
was
really
like
is. Yeah.
yeah, that
That's
was
like
like
one of my favorite melodic songs of all time, really.
yeah. I mean, I mean, it brought back memories, man. I want to listen to that. But you know what?
Yeah.
The best song is I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it just by tired. Oh yeah, Defense Mechanisms, dude. This album was so amazing. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, dude, it's got 666 views.
Wow.
We're gonna take Harris out of the devil's land. Is this defense? Yeah, this is Defense Mechanism.
Yeah.
That album cover is great too.
I love that album cover. It's one of my favorite of all time.
Let's see if we can get to the solo. Is this the solo?
Right here, this is it. Yeah. It's a rad solo.
You play okay. You played that solo back in the day. Oh, it's still going. Yeah, I mean his writing, dude. I take everything back I've ever thought because, dude, the writing on that, just that song alone,
Yeah.
dude, he writes this stuff. He's
Yeah.
freaking insane, dude.
He is. Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking insane. I mean, I cannot believe how insane that is.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to be. This was our idol. We were trying to be Michael Harris. Well, you were pretty close, dude. You could play that solo.
Parts of it. Yeah. I
Remember
never
we
learned
used
the
to
whole
play.
part of it, but
I used to play the rhythm, and you used to play the lead, and we used to like.
that was Octavian.
Oh, Octavian. Oh, crap.
Octavian was the song that we did, and that is freaking hard to play. Even now, dude, if I couldn't do it today, dude, if I tried to
Okay.
do it now,
Octavian.
dude, the solo, it has
Octavian 1, 2. There's a 3. There's
there's a 1, 2, and 3. We want 1.
Heir,
and go to
Heir
the
to
solo
the
part.
Conqueror.
Yeah, Heir to the Conqueror. The solo part is, it has a melody of its own. It's so the just the solo sings to you, dude. It just sounds. It reminds you of like the Roman Empire. I mean, you can't help but think of Little Caesars. While you listen to this song, it paints a picture. So listen.
Yeah,
to it.
this intro, we used to play this like together. We knew the 2 guitar parts to this.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's listen to intro, then I'll fast forward. Yeah, dude, that's the one we played.
Yeah.
All right, let's. It's a solo at like 2. Yeah, okay, that was the.
That solo. And as good as I was, I could never make it sound like that.
I remember. I mean, dude, I can see.
I'll tell you,
in my
I
head.
do remember him telling me that solo, he was doing a warm up in the studio, and the engineer was just walking around, and he was just doing a practice take through, and he got done playing that and said, "I wish you would have recorded that." And the engineer goes, "I did." And so that solo he got on a first take, but just in practice. And dude, yeah, it was great. It was great. Yeah. He's got a new album out too. Just came out. There's songs from it on YouTube. It's called Chemical Compositions. It's very different from that.
Yeah, this is probably my best album of his. I mean, I don't understand why he never made it like famous, like majorly famous.
Because it has nothing to do with talent, unfortunately.
Meadowlands of the Mind. That was
a good song, yeah.
This is the okay. Let me just listen to this for old time's sake. This is the. I think this is.
It's probably a live version.
Oh, we knew that lick. We knew that lick. Dude, you showed me that lick. That was hard.
Yeah, yeah.
That final lick there.
What you got?
He plays it about 18,000 times faster than I did. He plays that lick really fast.
That's really good. He plays that super fast, dude.
It's like double fast of what I played, and I was trying to play it my fastest. And then I just realized that lick goes by so fast. He should have slowed that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
My daughter Hannah came in to show me her pictures.
All right, let me hear them. What guitar player uses that as
On
the
the
opening?
on the studio version, he doesn't do that lick. He was going to, and he didn't. He ended up taking it out for the
Why?
studio version, but he did it live.
Okay. Yeah, dude, this just brings me back to Partymobile. Dude,
And swimming at my house.
yeah. We would listen to that metal as
Go to the solo. That solo has a lot of feeling to it too.
Okay, hold
Go-
on. Let's see where it is.
Here it is.
Okay, so 1992, dude. This was like you were probably taking lessons from Michael Harris in 1992.
I think I started in '93. So
Yeah, I was gonna say like right. So he was killing it like this, and then he was like going in the
going to
morning.
Ace Music and teaching
Yeah.
guitar lessons. I mean,
I
dude,
know, right? Like, dude,
yeah.
that's not right. There's something not right about it. Like,
Oh,
I'm gonna go
dude,
teach
he
guitar lessons.
belonged on stage every bit as Joe Satriani did or anybody else. Like.
But I just don't know how it didn't happen. I don't know, man. Maybe because he lived in Dayton, Ohio. Maybe because the industry was rigged to
Well,
pop music. I don't know.
I think that the industry at that time, if you remember right, dude,
It was going
girls
grunge. He was going
girls
out.
our age listen to hair metal. Okay, hair metal is what everybody listened to.
Up until not really. I mean, it was Kurt Cobain. That's what
Well,
started
that
coming
didn't
out.
start getting big though until like '94. Is
Okay,
when
so
because they were still because Headbangers Ball. I mean, yeah, they were already out by then, but Headbangers Ball on MTV was still a thing up until probably mid '90s. And then and Dream Theater was still getting airplay on MTV when they were still playing music. "To Be With You" by Mr. Big was still was the number one song in like '92 or '93. It was '92 or '93. Um, it was the number one song anywhere, and so hair metal was
but
still
hair metal
alive.
died really fast. Okay,
It
in a
did.
pop culture, it
It
died
died
so
very,
fast.
very fast. And I watched a video recently on YouTube as to why they think that is, and it kind of makes sense. I have always blamed grunge for killing hair metal because it did. That's what replaced it. Um, the point that this video made was that the rebellion was now the mainstream. Okay, so the slashed out jeans, the long dangly earrings, and the long hair. You wanted to be your parents' worst nightmare. Okay, that was kind of the image of the day, and and now it was by that point it had become mainstream. Like, everybody just loved it, so there was no rebellion to it anymore. It was not like, yeah, I'm into hair metal, I'm a rocker, because everybody was a rocker. And so then grunge music kind of came out with a whole new line of screw you to the world, and it was more about social issues like depression and all kinds of other bullcrap and
Dude, hold on. Take a minute. Look at the screen.
Partymobile.
That's the Partymobile. I just want people to see that, just for the record. That's the
Eric's
Partymobile.
dad had that car, and me and Eric would go riding around, listen to Firehouse in that car.
And we blew the engine in that car on 75 and almost died. Were you with me when we blew the engine? I'm pretty sure you were with me
I
when
don't
the engine
remember.
blew in that car.
I,
Okay, so
I don't. I don't remember.
I know Justin was, but we went
I
down.
can't remember if I was. I know
We
we
went
were in the.
downtown and we saw that payphone that said "F white people."
Yeah.
Were you there then?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It might have just been you and him.
Okay, well, I
at that
go
point.
back to this rant. So this rant you're on has something to do. It sounds like some kind of history of. It's really deep, dude. I just think that people liked Kurt Cobain, and he played three notes, and he got famous, and that was the end of Michael Harris. That's what I think.
Well, but yeah, but do you see that being the case? Like the idea of the rebellion of hair metal was now no longer rebellious at all. It was just the mainstream. Everybody did it.
Oh, I guess what you're saying is everybody was doing it, so now
Because
it's like
at first it was all about being the rocker chick with the short mini skirt and the boofed up hair, and and your parents are like, where are you going dressed like that, and then the guys were like the long hair, and like basically screw the world, screw you, I'm rebellious, this is and now it's like by mid 90s it's everybody's doing it, everybody's listening to Poison, everybody's listening to Def Leppard. It's no longer rebellious at all, it's mainstream.
so you think hair metal became mainstream, and
And so
because of
now
that,
there needed to be a new
okay,
form of rebellion, and grunge filled that role.
yeah, I see. I guess I see what you're saying. I never thought about it like that, but yeah.
It made sense to me when I heard it. I didn't come up with that. I saw it in a video, and it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I mean that they're and they kind of dealt more with social issues and stuff like that. As where in the 80s it was, in the 80s and early 90s it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You heard about that, and that's
Really?
what they talk about. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you hear
and
about that? Hey, did you hear about that? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Did you hear about that?
well, that's what people would always
It's
talk about. I mean, that's what everybody would always say. It's all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know. And
that's what the hair metal was about.
that's kind of what hair metal was about. I mean, every song was about a woman or woman problems
Yeah,
or
when you listen to hair metal now, like sometimes I listen to hair metal, and dude, it's like, I mean, like some of the songs on there were pretty suggestive. I mean, pretty like straight up, sexual,
some
like
of them, yeah.
pretty overtly sexual.
Well, Winger, Winger came out with the song 17. She's
Yeah.
only 17.
Yeah, right, right.
And, I mean, it was kind of creepy then, but since they're like all in their 50s and they still sing it in concert now, it's a lot creepy.
It's a lot creepy now, yeah.
you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and like a lot of the songs were just really suggestive
Well,
songs.
yeah, I mean, you had Tawny Katan dancing on the hood of the car in every Whitesnake video,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean,
Those were the good days of music, I guess.
I mean, but still, the music was happening. I mean, grunge was terrible. Let's be real. It had no talent. There were no solos, no guitar. It's
Dude,
like
they didn't know how to play the guitar. They
it's
literally
like
learned
guitar
like
kind of
four.
topped out. It's like everybody got so good at it that the new players coming in were like, ah, screw it, just learn a couple of chords and
Well,
you
dude, I
know,
mean, the solo on the Teen Spirit was like ding ding. It's like two
yeah,
notes.
exactly.
Ding ding.
It's like
It
two
was like the
notes.
first year, like the first month of guitar lessons, and
Yeah,
it was like it was like the it was over, dude. I mean, it was over. If you could be that famous and influential, and suck that bad at
yeah,
guitar, then
well,
why would anybody ever practice again?
right, exactly.
Which brings me to a Facebook article I posted. I think I posted this, but I don't know if I didn't read it because I thought this was kind of. I didn't read it. I read. I just glanced at it. But I posted this article that I think you might find interesting in light of this conversation. Straight male guitar player. Straight male. Okay. Did you read this article?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll show it here while we read this article. Straight 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 male guitarists play, and I don't agree with this article. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Straight male guitarists play extreme metal to impress other men, study suggests.
Hmm.
I never once, I don't think, played guitar. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think it was more about rocking and impressing the
I
ladies
think
than it
I
was.
I think I played to impress everybody. And
Right, just to impress everybody.
I
But were you
especially
really
wanted
were
to,
you
I wanted
specifically
to pick up chicks, dude. I'm being real. In the day,
yeah.
I, I, I mean, none of them cared. Okay, let's be real. But
Well,
I
I don't know if
thought,
you were in the band they cared, you know?
yeah,
I mean, but
yeah,
they're
but that,
saying that guys we only play to, to impress other guys and a sample group of 44 heterosexual males were surveyed for studies which explored the reasoning behind investment in technical guitar skills by taking a look at their practice habits, sexual behavior, and feelings of competitiveness towards other men. I don't I don't
I
believe
don't
this.
think that's true. I think that they're trying to make something here that doesn't exist. I
Hold on.
think
The
they're,
results of the study indicated that time spent playing chords predicted desire for casual sex with women, whereas perceptions of playing speed positively predicted intersexual competitiveness, in plain terms, a wish to impress other men.
okay.
That's stupid.
Here's the deal. Okay, I am a fast guitar player. At least I was when I practiced regularly. Now my stamina in that
You were
isn't
not doing
so great.
that
But I
to
was not doing that so
impress.
that I could pick up dudes. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, let's not make this about being gay. I wanted to be
I
a good
no, they're
guitar
saying
player.
that they're not saying that they're being gay. They're saying that in plain terms they to impress other men, maybe just manly, like, oh, I'm manly, I play fast.
Yeah, but
I don't think so.
it
I
wasn't.
don't.
It
I think
wasn't
this
any of
article is
that for me,
stupid.
dude. It wasn't any of that for me. And I'm telling you, dude, the last thing on my mind when I got that good was, yeah, all the guys are gonna think I'm a great guitarist. Never once did I think that, dude. I back in my high school days, dude, I thought I am gonna get all the chicks
You
when I learn
did.
how to play, Joe Satriani's little tapping solo.
That's what you thought, dude.
Well, I mean, maybe not that specific riff, but dude, I thought, how could girls resist a guy that can play the solo part to Octavian, Heir to the Conqueror? I mean, come on. I just, I mean, I'm just being real. I wanted to be a good guitarist. Because I cared about it. It really wasn't about impressing anybody, but since I could do it, yeah. I mean, I thought, why would I not want to play for people? And and ultimately, dude, like any teenage boy, why wouldn't you want the girls flocking towards you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's the whole reason I would like. I think that like kids, like I told. Okay, so I don't know about if this happened to me, but I tell my young guy students a lot of times, like when I was teaching guitar. It's like even if you're not very good at guitar, just take your guitar, put it on your back, take it into your locker, stick it in your locker, carry it around school,
Yeah,
and just act like you know what you're doing, and you'll have a girlfriend. And I think that's
exactly.
actually kind of true.
And back in the
Uh,
day, it was probably a lot more true. Unfortunately, guitar is kind of dead now. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal anymore. Maybe it.
you don't think?
I mean, it doesn't seem like it, dude. Back in the day when we were doing it, everybody tried to do it, and there was a lot of people taking guitar lessons. It was a big thing, like, uh, and there were kind of, there were kind of girls that thought, oh, he plays guitar. I don't know. Now it's like ukulele, like, oh, he plays ukulele. I just think
Well,
it's
you
just
might
kind
be
of.
right about
I
that,
just
dude.
think it's kind of gotten wimpy. Like, I mean, how many
He plays ukulele. He
metal
plays the
isn't
accordion.
metal is dead. I mean, unfortunately, metal is dead by and large in the mainstream. Back when we were in our day, it was getting airplay. Even and if you go back and listen to it, when you listen to Nirvana or bands like that, Pearl Jam, they nowadays I hear more similarities than I did back then. Like if I listen to today's stuff versus then, it's a big difference. But I still feel like even Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all these grunge bands, they had a big influence from all the metal guys. I mean, you can listen to it and you can still kind of tell where it came from. I mean, I didn't hear the similarities then. Maybe it's just in my head, but I feel like because they had to get it from somewhere. I mean, they had to still hear what was being played
Oh, you
and
think that the grunge people still emulated in a big way the
they were still very much influenced by the current metal guys. Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, if you listen to Eddie Vedder, yeah, he sounds like a drunk version of some of the hair metal guys. I mean, you know what I mean? He does. I mean, you listen to Kurt Cobain, they just sound like people that failed as hair metal singers and
Well, yeah, I mean
needed.
they can't yeah, they couldn't hack the playing ability for sure.
Right. And so I feel like if you go back and listen, you would hear a lot of similar. You would hear the influence. You would hear it. I mean, it's there. Probably more so than today's music versus then because it's kind of evolved. But I feel like straight out of the hair metal era, they're not going to be that much different. They're going to be painted different. They're going to sound a little bit different, and they did, but it wasn't as different as you might think. It was kind of like just a bunch of guys that couldn't play hair metal, so they all formed a band. It was like, not to name names, but his initials are MG that hung around us in high school. And you remember he went to guitar lessons and stuff, but never really got good at it
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
yeah. Yeah, no.
Okay. And it's guys like that that just couldn't hack it, with the current stuff. So, like, yeah, let's just get together, and we'll crank up the distortion. We'll drop detune this sucker, and we'll call it grunge.
Well, I was okay, so you were a true metal player. You were like a true metal player. I was like a hybrid. Like I kind of fell into the grunge thing. I think I was truly deeply hair metal, but like when it
You
came,
were when it was when it was the only big thing.
yeah, but like I kind of fell into the, let's play like four chords and like play crappy guitar solos, but we're still in a band.
Yeah.
I fell into that.
When it became more mainstream, I think you did. Before that, you were
Probably.
into Metallica. You were into Guns N' Roses. You were into
Yeah, yeah. I
a
mean,
lot of the commercialized stuff. I was into
yeah,
more of the,
I was probably more commercialized hair metal.
but yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say I was like totally poser, but um, I definitely wasn't into it as you are.
And I'm still true to it, dude. I'm still, man. I still am a closet Motley Crue guy. I mean, what can I say? I love a good Firehouse song. Steve Vai is still the best guitarist of all time. Him and Mike Harris. Um, I mean, but that's just me. It's like I'm not letting go of this. I'm taking it with me wherever I go. Hair metal guys had talent. What can I say?
Yeah, they did, dude. They were the best.
I mean, and the mixes back then, with the big reverbs. I mean, that was great. Sounded like you get a studio album. It sounded like you were in a concert hall because they put so much reverb on everything. You hear that snare down.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you know.
They didn't have that. They didn't. The grunge guys didn't really have
Oh
that.
no, they had the driest mixes of all time. Yeah, it was like yeah, they just totally took all the wetness off the mix.
Yeah.
It was just a completely dry mix down. So, has anybody watched us tonight talk about all this crap?
I mean, we have like two people now. Yeah. We don't have any chats. It seems people are being kind of quiet lately,
Well,
which I guess that's okay.
because we're killing it.
They can't heckle us because we're doing so good, dude.
Yeah, I know. Nobody was on here tonight, like telling you, telling you how stupid you were.
I know. Yeah, it is stupid. You should quit. You suck. That's pretty much what they
Yeah,
were saying last week. Why are you even alive?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that's it for tonight, folks. An hour and a half of just chatting, and
About guitarists
hopefully you really like the guitar
reliving the
section.
old glam rock hair metal days.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to live. That's what I want to
Next
relive.
time we have this conversation, I'm putting on a wig.
Are you,
I
dude?
know.
I'm gonna put on a Donald Trump mask.
I don't know if I lose a bunch of weight, I'm gonna grow my hair back out. My wife would kill me, but I
Are you
should.
gonna lose a bunch of weight?
Yeah, yeah. I am eating a very strict diet right now, and I've done that several times and then stopped because every time I start doing it, my eyesight gets bad and I have to wear glasses. I don't know why, but my eyesight craps out when I go on a diet. Yeah, I don't know if it's just because my blood sugar changes too much or something changes. I don't know, but it's like my blood sugar gets better and everything, and but my eyesight craps out, and I needed to get my license renewed in November. So I told my wife, I was like, "Look, I will do this diet, but I got to renew my license first, and I got to have good eyesight." So I went off my diet just so my eyesight would kind of level out, and then I went and got my license renewed. So that's done. So now
Oh,
I
you
told
got
my
it.
now, yeah, I mean they're gonna send it to me, but I renewed it for 8 years. So um,
8 years.
yeah, yeah, it costs a little more, but you can renew it
Well,
for
yeah,
eight
dude, you
years.
probably should have because you like in 4 years you go back and you can't see anymore or something.
Exactly. So I just decided I would do that, and now I'm eating. Well, I'm eating keto. Well, I'm just eating really low carb, like um, I don't know if you'd exactly call it keto because I eat higher protein than what most keto people eat, um, but I do that for the first few days just to kind of get my body adjusted to it, and then I'll switch over to like one meal a day, and I'll probably just eat like fish and veggies, and that's all I'll eat. Um, and maybe the occasional spoonful of peanut butter.
That's it.
That's it.
So what's gonna be your diet for the day?
Probably 2 pieces of salmon and some
Like every day?
roasted broccoli or cauliflower. Yeah, every day.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so 2 pieces of broccoli, and then
2 pieces of fish, like salmon, and then like some roasted, like oven roasted mushrooms and broccoli, cauliflower, that kind of thing,
hmm.
or Brussels sprouts, something like that. Like I was doing Brussels sprouts and mushrooms roasted in the oven with 2 pieces of grilled salmon, and that was it. And maybe a spoonful of peanut butter for like a dessert, which is kind of satisfies a sugar craving, sort of. Or I like those Atkins shakes. Those are actually really low carb, and they're uh, they're not too bad. They're not really a whole food, but they do okay. You can throw them in the blender with some ice and some peanut butter, and make a nice shake out of it, and it's pretty good. Trick your body into making it think you're eating ice cream or a milkshake,
Hmm.
and keep your calories below, right around 1,200 a day. That's kind of my magic number.
1,200. That's like low, dude. Isn't
That's
that
the
pretty low?
idea. Yeah, but that's the idea if you're trying to lose weight rapidly.
Okay.
Trying to
Wait,
lose about 30 pounds in 2 months.
really?
That's the idea. Yeah.
And then what?
And then keep it off.
Okay, and then you won't die.
Right. Yep. Yep. Exactly. That's the idea. And then I can enjoy all this money that I'm going to make in pocket option.
Hmm. Which is gonna
Yep.
be a lot, dude. Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So we'll be back tomorrow night when we're going to complete level 12. Wait, we're halfway through 11. Is that right? Or are we halfway through 12?
I think we're halfway through. Um, We're halfway through 11. We're gonna hit 12 in a minute.
Wait a minute. We are $4 away from completing 11. Is that
We're
right?
$4 away from completing 11, and then we'll be on 12, and that's where we're gonna stay.
Right. Yeah.
We're
That's
just gonna
where we're
start
going.
cranking 12.
Yeah. So we need to. So probably tomorrow we will be.
We'll just win our 6 trades tomorrow and call it a day.
We'll
And then
win
we'll
our
just
six
win
trades, which
every
means
day.
that we'll get that $4 right away, and
Yeah.
probably be almost through first round of level 12 completed.
Yeah, every night we just from then on it won't matter how many times we don't have to calculate. We just win 6 trades and win 6 trades, win 6 trades, win
Right.
6 trades.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll recalculate if we move up, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, we'll keep track of how much we've won every time we circle through a week's pay in that level, because we want to know the weekly wins. So every time we pass whatever that number is, we'll know that we've fortified or whatever there. So yeah. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow.